Yo, what's happening, everyone? Today is September 11th of 2016, Sunday, and it is time to shave, and I'm looking forward to that. Today's brush, Detroit, Michigan, is going to be the Morrison forndran discolo. Big old brush. And that is going to be putting a hurting on Mickey Lee Soapworks the Kraken. This is the old packaging and old formula, but this has actually got to be one of the coolest looking soaps out there. If you don't have a puck of this, check that out. There we go. You see how it's got those bits of blue like the marine ocean? It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So we're going to start loading that up in this gigantic brush. Excuse me. Hope you guys have been having a nice weekend. Lots of football. Lots of football going on this weekend. I'm not a football fan at all, I should say. And actually, this is about as loaded as I get this brush, and I'll explain why. It looks like it may not be any in the middle, but I'll explain why I do that here shortly. Yeah, football, lots of it. And by football, I don't mean soccer. To the Europeos and Latinos out there. So if you noticed, and I've been doing this for a while, but if you notice, when I go to lather, I actually kind of just deposit soap, what's in the brush around the scalp. And then I use the center of the brush to actually lather what's been deposited, so to speak, on the dome. And that really doesn't change once I do get this soap lathered up. I kind of store lather on the sides of the brush, do like this and then use the middle of it to actually lather what's been left on the skin. I use the same approach when using the Laguna Seca Badger, because it's a gigantic Morrison forndran, not like this one, 32 millimeters or so. It is huge. And that's just the best, for me, that seems to be the best way to use all that brush. So this weekend has been a pretty good one. It's funny, somebody on Facebook the other day shared, a girl, I don't remember who she was, she had shared one of those word pictures, right? And it said something along the lines of Saturday night I love you, or no, Friday night I love you, but Saturday morning you're my boo. And it's so funny that man, that's where I'm at in life right about now, I guess. When I was younger, when I was big time raver deluxe, back when I was younger, man, the week was all about Saturday night. It was all about Saturday night, getting to that party, that club, that warehouse, wherever it was that the event was being held. And that was the only thing that the week is about. Now, I wake up early on Saturday mornings, wake up at 6:30, 7 a.m. without having an alarm clock, do the dirty deed, and I'm in such a good mood. I'm a morning person anyway. But yeah, I just think it's hilarious how that works out like that, This old school, even though Mickey Lee Soapworks has updated their formula, this old school stuff is incredible as well. I'm just going to keep on working this stuff because I guess I'm in the groove or something. So yesterday, Saturday, which had a morning, I woke up at like 7 or so, and took a little shower, got ready, woo woo wham, jumped in the car, and went to the cafe to grab a Saturday morning cappuccino or two, which is standard operating procedure on the weekends. Oh man, that's nice. That's really good. That's really, really good. Today's razor is going to be the Wolfman WR1 OC MK3 with the 0.67 millimeter blade gap. Third use in a row of this razor, and I am ready to, well, I will be ready to give my final thoughts after the shave. So let's go ahead and get on. Gillette Silver Blue is what's nestled in its clutches. Woke up, went to the cafe for my Saturday morning caffeination. Had a couple of them, and decided to, jump in the car and go for a drive. Again, that's very typical Saturday for me, is to, do that exact sequence of events. So I jumped in the car, started driving. Don't remember what road it was. Actually, I do remember. I don't know what the name of the road is, as it, while it's in the city limits of Knoxville. But it's a U.S. highway, U.S. Highway 25. And, you guys know, some of you know, I like to drive. It's very, it's a nice thing. It's a very reflective thing to do. Lets me think about the week I just had, what went wrong, what went right, and it also gives me a chance to put the roof down on the car, shift some gears myself, and see where the road goes, you know what I mean? So I jumped on 25 East actually, and I just rode that joint out, man. A lot of times I do like to, keep my eye on the navigation to see if there's any nice twisty mountain roads, to go carve up. And I did run across one. It's called Joppa Mountain Road, and that one was fun. It wasn't signed very well. Roads with a lot of traffic that are super twisty like that, they'll give you an indication of what kind of turn it is that you've got facing you. Particularly the ones that are going uphill on mountain roads, because you can't see, because you've got hill in the way. You know what I'm saying? So this one wasn't signed very well. I mean, it's not like there was any particularly hairy moments. I wasn't driving fast on the road. I didn't know the road, so it wouldn't have been a good idea to go fast. But anyway, so yeah, got back on 25, and for those of you that I don't know if there's any of you that do this. Maybe you and your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whatever go on drives just for the heck of it. And U.S. highways are like some of the most interesting roads out there. They take you through these little towns, and I mean they take you through the town, not by the town, like interstates usually do. But they actually take you through the town and the downtown area and all that good stuff. And I like those little downtowns like that, or those little sleepy towns. Now, you know, I do live in the southeast, and sometimes those towns don't really seem too terribly welcoming. You know, for yeah, we'll just leave it at that. I think you all know what I'm getting at there. Yeah, so, you know, sometimes there's that, and that sucks. But, went through a few. Anyway, so I started driving on 25E. And I think 25 East ends up going kind of southeast. And I ended up in a couple of towns. One was Morristown, Tennessee, Weaverville, North Carolina, and Monroe, North Carolina, maybe? I don't know if that last one is right, but I know it was a small town that started with the letter M in North Carolina, like way in the mountains. Hold on one second, you guys. Also, another thing that kind of sucks about those, you know, little towns like that in the middle of nowhere. No mobile phone signal with American Telegraph and Telephone and Telegraph. Not a good look. That never really is that's not too terribly reassuring. But, yeah. So, I then saw a sign, excuse me. I then saw a sign that said Asheville, North Carolina, 30 miles away. So I'm like, whatever, man, I've gone this far. I'm going this far. Let's go to Asheville. I did not have the world's greatest experience in Asheville when I went last time. And I hate that the name is so similar to Nashville. That's just me being petty. But, you know, I ended up getting to Asheville. The last time I went, did not have a good experience. Excuse me. So I told a couple of my friends back home that I was almost in Asheville, excuse me. Told my friends in Nashville that I was almost in Asheville. Asheville, if you weren't aware, is a big time beer town. So, messaged a couple of friends. My man Peter asked me if excuse me. Asked me if I would pick up some sours for him by a brewery called Wicked Weed, if I'm not mistaken. They have a little facility there. I guess it's their brewery / tap room. They call it the Funkatorium. And I stopped by the Funkatorium. But the Funkatorium had a 2-hour wait. And I was I'm not with that. So I ended up going to a store to pick up some beer for him. And they had a lot of beers there. A lot of wild weeds or wicked weed, whatever. So, you know, picked up some beers for them, which I'm looking forward to getting back home and sharing with them. We like to get together to watch the fights, and it's usually it's a bunch of dudes in their 30s that are away from the home watching fights. So we cook food, drink beer and liquor, and it's a ton of fun, so much fun. So yeah, picked them up some beers, and I got some for myself. Like there at the store, they had like some taps. I had 2 beers. Beer's not really my thing, so to speak. I'm very much a Scotch man. Single malt Islas, specifically. And if I drink beer, I drink stouts and porters to a lesser degree. Sours are okay, but that's because I've had them kind of pushed in my face all summer. Thanks, Peter. So they had a couple stouts on tap at the store. The store was called Appalachian Vintner, if I'm not mistaken. It's an everything store. They sell liquor, wine, and beer under the same roof. In Tennessee, you cannot sell liquor, and wine can be sold in the same place, but beer cannot. And oh snap, wine cannot, and mixers also have to be sold under a separate roof. And I'm gonna do this real quick. Word. So I had 2 beers. The first one was the best beer I've ever had in my life. Some sort of Caribbean chocolate cake, I think is what it was called. And it wasn't, if I remember correctly, on the bottle, because I did end up getting some bottles of it. The bottles were $7.50 a piece for a 12-ounce bottle. But, man, it was good. Holy Jiminy, was it good. Like I said, it's the best beer I've ever had in my life. That title was formerly held by Founders Breakfast Stout. Founders is a brewery out of Michigan, somewhere in Michigan, I'm not sure where. Not Detroit though, I do know that. Or not the Detroit area. And man, this stuff was good. It had like cocoa nibs and other things that I don't remember. And man, it was so good. It was thick. Lots of flavor, lots of flavor. So I had a good little time in Asheville. Had some pizza, rolled out that joint. I'm gonna let this dry for a bit while I talk to you guys. Final thoughts on this Wolfman 0.67 millimeter blade gap razor. This one in particular with the open comb is battling it out with my BBS one for my favorite razor. Again, the blade exposure is what this increase in blade gap gives you, you know, more than anything in this razor. And it's the perfect amount of blade exposure. Wow, this razor is good. I love this razor. I love this razor. It's very, very good. So yeah. If you're wondering about the brush giveaway, all you'll need to do is just comment. I'm going to run it for about a month or so. Just comment in the videos I'm in. You are allowed one entry per video. I'll just, you know, notate everybody that enters. You'll be assigned a number, and then a random number will be generated on random.org. And again, it is worldwide. I know that's going to end up being annoying in the end, but that's okay. That's okay. And again, hopefully Customs doesn't keep the brush for themselves. Today's aftershave is going to be, I don't know where that lather came from, behind the ears, naturally. Today's aftershave, of course, is Nikki Lee Soapworks, the Kraken. Also, there was fights last night. Fabricio Verdum, nice one, buddy. Fabricio Verdum is a heavyweight, like 6'4", about 245 pounds. Not really the world's smallest dude. And this guy, the very first strike of the fight that he threw was a jumping, flying side kick. I'm talking about like Liu Kang. Not the bicycle kick, but, you know, the flying one, like forward, low kick. And he hit Travis Brown, who's like 6'10", directly in the joint with that kick. Ridiculous, man. The silliest thing I've ever seen in my life. So he beat Travis Brown, not the world's most eventful fight. Travis Brown's coach started talking at Yang, and Travis Brown gave him a push kick, a front kick that pushed him back for his troubles. The corners were ejected immediately after that, and I laughed heartily because his coach is his coach is an idiot. Still trying to make this beard great again. Not really too concerned with it for now. Excuse me. And that's pretty much it. I smell wonderful. Hope you guys have had a good week. Hope you'll have a good week. Again, just enter. Just say that you're in the comments. I'll assign you a number once per video. So if it's open for a month and I make 4 videos, you'll have 4 opportunities to get into the drawing. Anyway, so I hope you guys have a good day. Enjoy it. I think I'm going to get back on the road and do some recreational motor coaching again. It's a little early in the day. Peace, you guys. See you soon. Bye.